Good morning, guys. I love the analogy of computer programming when it comes to rewiring and using our minds for their true great purpose. And I remember hearing the idea from Stephen Covey that you are the programmer. You are the programmer of your mind. This goes back to our first habit of being proactive in Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You have to accept the idea that you are the programmer of your mind. That's where it all begins. If you accept that idea and you understand that you are responsible for every decision you make, no matter what, then real change begins. Then the real path begins of our true greatness. And it's possible for you, but you have to believe that, you have to internalize that, you have to have no doubt that you are the programmer. It all begins there. Have a great day, everyone.
The question that I really spent a ton of time with was, who did I want to be before I became who I'd become? Who did I want to be back in the day? Right? I believe that each of us were created with very intentional design. Whether you are a faith person or not, I just believe that there is something of a higher power that had just a conceit in having created you the way that you were created, your wiring, Tom, different than mine, your experiences different than mine, the way that you love or feel, all different. And in that difference, it makes you this limited edition one of one. And in that limited edition one of one that you are, you have an opportunity to honor the intention of your creator. And the work that I'm now on this planet to do, and that I would argue anyone is on this planet to do, is find a way every day to honor the intention of a creator who had very intentional design in the way that you were put together and the way that you've experienced the things that you have. So my question was, why was I created? Like, what was the intention?
And what are the clues you use to suss out the answer?
Well, the things that I think have been, like, in the instances where I felt closest to purpose or closest to fulfillment,
Which feels like
I am going to end my life proud of myself. Okay. Or, I mean, like, I've heard you say it so many times, and I just believe this so much. The most important question you can ask is, how do I feel about myself when I'm by myself? And the answer to that question is when you feel like you are in integrity with having done everything you possibly could have on that day to honor the measure of your creation, that you feel connected to, wow, I have been given these unique skills. So part of it is skills, right? Are there things that you can develop mastery around, that you have uniquely been blessed with or gifted with, that in the exploitation of those things, you might generate a feeling of pride for yourself, have legacy at the end of life, feel like you mattered when everything is said and done. And the utilization of those skills or not is the difference between integrity and feeling great about yourself when you're by yourself. The second is passion, right? You have to be connected to something that you have passion for. You can develop skill in almost anything. I can argue that with 10,000 hours or whatever it ends up being, you can develop mastery over time. I don't think you can develop passion though.
Really?
Oh no, I think you either have passion or you don't. And our job is to play in a ton of pools to find out where curiosity might lead to passion. And so asking.
So it still has to be discovered.
Still has to be discovered, which again was part of like all right, the world's just blown up. A lot of really, really important things in your life had to die so that you might be brought back to life. Who are you going to be is in some ways connected to what you have passion for. You couldn't answer a simple question about what you like to do in your spare time. You better start trying a bunch of things to find out what you like to do in your spare time. There's likely a connection to honoring the intention of your creator and what you like to do in your spare time, or what you would wake up and not even feel like it's work because you just love doing it so much.
The starting point to find your passion is to say yes more. We are in the no business. New idea comes. Oh no, I can't do that. New opportunity arises. You get invited. No, someone like me can't do this. We're constantly saying no, 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 no. You'll never find your passion by saying no. It's actually the opposite. You got to say yes. You got to say yes to opportunities. You got to say yes to ideas. You got to say yes to that thing that comes into your head that maybe you can go off and do. Yes, I'm going to try. I'm going to be willing to suck. I'm going to be willing for it not to work out, but I'm going to try, because we judge things before even trying. I like to say, how do you know what your favorite food is? Well, you know by trying. You know by tasting a whole bunch of different foods until you find the one that you love. Like, wow, that's my favorite food. Where most people, they don't try enough foods. If you think about sushi, that I use as an example, I wrote off sushi at the beginning. Like, that sounds nasty. Why you get? I mean, not judging. You want to eat it, awesome, but it sounds gross. It's raw fish wrapped in seaweed with some rice and fish eggs. That sounds gross, right? For someone who's not used to it, Italian, Western diet, that sounds gross. And you're gonna dip it in soy sauce and hot mustard, right? But you know what? I'm just gonna try it. You know what? This is really good. It tastes so good, right? Now I love sushi. Sushi's gotta be in my top 5 favorite foods. But we judge things, and we're doing that not just with foods, we're doing that with people, we're doing that with business ideas, we're doing that with opportunities. I look at YouTube and how long it took me, holy cow, how long it took me to get momentum because I was judging it. Not judging the platform, but judging myself, that someone like me can't do it because I'm introverted, because I'm shy, because only people with a big ego get in front of a camera, all of these things. I was just in a no business. I was saying no. I was saying no. I was saying no. I was saying no. And listen, I'm not perfect. I still say no on things that I'm trying to get better at. If you haven't found the thing that you're passionate about, that excites you, that drives you, that pushes you forward, you're not going to find it sitting on the couch, judging yourself and doing the same things that you have been doing. Right? If you do the exact same things you have been doing for the past year, your life doesn't change in the next year, right? You got to explore, you got to say yes. And that takes courage, and that takes jumping through some discomfort. And it just says the ability to say yes on things. So I was recently hanging out with Tom Bilyeu and Dave Hollis and a bunch of friends in Napa. And my biggest takeaway was I want to move faster on things. I want to move faster on new things. It's so easy to get locked into what you're currently doing. It's like, you know what? I need to move faster on things. And so I came home and I went faster on learning crypto. I went faster on learning about life insurance and investing. I went faster on creating my Discord server. I went faster on all the ideas that I had. It's like, okay, imperfect start, just build momentum and go. And now Discord has been a big part of my daily routine. I've adjusted my entire schedule to start my day in Discord. I went from spending zero time on Discord, not understanding what it was, not understanding the graphics and what mods did and all the roles and all of the stuff, the lingo and all of the terminology, language. I didn't know any of it. To now, I spend the first chunk of my time every morning on Discord. If you want to join us, it's free. evancarmichael.biz. Come and join in. It's such a great way to start my day because I love the community, because I love connecting with people. When I go to events, my favorite thing is to hang out in the hallway and talk to people. And that's basically what Discord is. You get to hang out in the hallway and talk to people and help them and spread love. And we've so many amazing people. And the point of that is I now have this new thing in my calendar that I love and I look forward to. It's like I can't wait to go back and say hi to everybody. Even though I'm shy and introverted, it feels weird. But a month ago, I wasn't doing it at all. And it could have easily been the thing that I said no to, that I said, I'm so busy. I have YouTube and I have my other channels and I have my team and I have, right? All those stories we tell ourselves as to why we can't do it. It's being in the no business. How do you know until you try? How do you know if your great idea is great unless you try? Or if it sucks unless you try? How do you know if you're gonna love something unless you try? How do you know if you're gonna love that person unless you try? You don't know until you try. So what are some practical steps? Okay. Number one, when you get an idea that comes into your head, trust it. I wish I could X. Oh, I've got this cool idea for me to Y. Do it. Just trust that the idea is a good idea. Trust that it's good, it's for you, it's meant for you, especially if you're in a positive environment, you're watching a video like this, or you're at an event, and you're talking to somebody and you have positive vibes. It's like, I want to go make this. Trust that that idea is good. Get out of the no business and just start building some immediate momentum. So trust that good ideas flow through you. Good ideas, great ideas, extraordinary ideas flow through you. Trust that. Trust that and do something about it. Because we don't want to wait another year and another year and another year and you're still sitting on these ideas because someone like you can't do it, right? So one, trust that great ideas flow through you and do something about it. Two, tie it into service, right? Your purpose comes from your pain. So whatever you struggle the most with is what you want to help other people through. So tie that to service. Your passion is something that you'll love helping other people with. So it's not just about you. If your own passion, that's just a hobby, right? Something you love doing for yourself, great, that's just a hobby. But ultimately, we all want to feel important. We all want to feel, not from an egotistical point of view, it's wired into us, from a human point of view. We want to feel like we matter. We want to feel like we're going to do something today that will have an impact on other people. We are connected to each other. And so your passion will tie into your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. Whatever you struggle the most with is what you want to help other people through. So inside of that, helping the you from 5 years ago or 10 years ago, what do you need to do? What are some of the steps that you can sit there and help the you from 5 years ago? That will be a part of your passion. To wake up and feel like I'm doing this, that's fun, that's exciting for me. It doesn't feel like work, but it is also having an impact. It has to tie to service. It has to. If you want it to fill you up for the rest of your life, it has to tie to service. And it's not just this one, short timeline thing just to help you feel good. It has to help other people feel good as well somehow. So number one is trust that great ideas flow through you. Two, tie it to service. You feel like you're helping other people. It's going to make a big, big, big difference. And then number three is pay attention to things that make you scared. Pay attention to things that make you scared and teach yourself that you do difficult things. So a lot of times an idea might come to you or somebody might suggest something for you, and the immediate thing that comes to mind is, this is difficult, or your heart's beating. I call it the boom, boom, boom test, where your heart's going boom, 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 because you're nervous, because you're afraid of doing that thing. Often your next amazing passion is on the other side of all those things that you're afraid of. Because you're afraid that it's not going to work, or you're afraid that it's going to disappoint people, you're afraid that it will work, you're afraid of failure, and you're afraid of success. You're afraid of judgment, you're afraid of rejection, you're afraid. But you don't find your passion by staying afraid. Find it by saying yes. So the things that are making you afraid, the things that make your heart go boom, 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 like that, trust it and try it. Expect it to suck. Expect not to get any results. Expect your first shot to miss. That's okay. What's more important than if you got the result is, did you enjoy the process? Did you have fun doing it? Are you excited to go back and do it again? You've got a great gift inside you. You know you're capable of more. You know you want to serve. You know you want to help. You know that you don't want to stay stuck. That's not that your life sucks right now, but you want it to be more full. You want it to be more rich. You want to be in a different spot in 1 year from today. And that happens by tapping into the thing that you're passionate about. It's the number one rule for success. You love the work. You love the process of doing the thing that you're doing every day. And you get that by getting out of the no business. Stop telling yourself that you can't. Stop telling yourself no. Stop telling yourself that someone like you can't do it. And instead flip it to say, yes, I'm gonna try.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to
Feel the power of your determination taking control of your breathing. Feel the power of your presence, your gift, right now in this moment. Now think about you doing your best today on all the exercises we do together in the gym of life. See, we are so powerful, we get to think, create, imagine in our minds, and make real in the world. And that goes with everything. The way we do our exercises to the best of our ability is the same way we can do anything to the best of our ability. All right, good morning, determination. How's everyone today? Here we are again, another day in the gym of life. Again, circumstances may not be ideal. Perhaps this is not exactly where we want to be right now, but we're going to make the best of it. So let's do this together. Here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot. Or if you want, you can simply do your best walk on the spot. Okay, here we go together. And go. Always doing our best with whatever we got, whatever we've been given. The gym of life is everywhere, it never ends. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever your situation is, if you're here right now watching this video, we are together, we are united, mind and body. Alright, let's feel that body warming up, the blood starting to flow. Keep going, almost there. And stop. Alright. Walking back and forth, side to side, within the space that you have, or simply walking on the spot if that's all the space you have. Again, feel the power of you regaining control of your breathing. Showing your body who's boss. Showing your mind who's boss. The way we take control of that breathing, the same way we can take control of our lives. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. All right, everyone, let's do some shoulder rolls. Here we go. Shoulder rolls, 10 forward. And backwards. Once again, feel the pure joy of you, your presence, your being, right here, right now. to the gratitude that you can show for being able to move your body. All right, arm circles forward, 10 forward. And backwards. All right, okay, hands on our hips, bend our knees, and let's side stretch. 5 on each side. Keep those knees bent. All right, and let's twist our bodies. 5 on each side again. Feet flat on the floor. Just twisting our hips. All right, let's do 5 push-ups, everyone. That's 5 push-ups. Here we go. If you got to keep your knees down on the ground, you can do that. Okay, 5 sit-ups. All right, let's do 5 squats. Here we go. Best 5 squats ever. All the way down, all the way up. Good. All right, let's do lunges. 3 on each side. Arms out. Okay, let's do 10-second planks. Belly's knees off the ground. All right, good, everyone. Excellent. And stand up. And let's reach for the ceiling or the sky, wherever we are. Here we go. On your toes. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feel the power of you reaching your best, no matter what. All right. And let's reach for our toes. Straight knees. Again, it's okay if you don't touch your toes, just reach. Safely, without hurting yourself. You should just feel a pull. You shouldn't feel pain. Okay, come on back up. And let's work on our balance. Grab one leg. Find that balance. Bend the other knee if you have to. And pull back your heel towards your body. Pull that thigh back. Hold it for 10 seconds. Feel the power of you finding your balance right now. And switch. The other one. Feel the power of all of us together in this moment, united, doing our best together on these stretches and exercises. All right, and switch. This time hug your knee, the other side. And work hard to find that balance. Think about what you're doing. Hold it there for 10 seconds. Okay, and switch, the other one. Again, bend the other knee as you pull one up and hug the one knee. Okay, good. All right, and let's sit down. Let's do our V-shaped stretch by reaching for the floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it for 10. And reach for one side. Hold it there. And switch the other side. Okay, feet together, and gently push knees down to your elbows. Hold it there. Again, enjoy fully the process of what we're doing. Working on our body and working on our mind. Every stretch, every movement, everything. Okay, one leg leg forward, one leg back. Keep the knee on the ground, go as far back as you can. And switch, other side. As far back as you can, hold that knee down. Always reach. Going for a little bit more than you did last time. Alright, okay, and legs crossed. Actually, before we do that, let's roll onto our bellies. And let's push the floor and look up at the sky or ceiling. Hold it for 10. Here we go. Alright, and now legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Focused on our breathing. Tapping into that power. That power to see first in your mind what you want to bring out into the world. That's our determination, our greatest power ever. Always available to us. So right now I'm going to see myself doing the best I can to hold the plank position for one song, and then the best I can to hold my side plank positions for the rest of the other song. 2 songs today for me. What about you? What are you going to see in your mind? What exercise are you going to visualize right now? You know, visualize yourself doing your best dance, your best jog, your best squats, your best sit-ups, your best jumping jacks, whatever it is. See it in your mind right now before you bring it out into the world. Okay, here I go, plank position, holding it as long as I can. Here we go. What about you? What are you working on right now? Whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability and feel the joy. Feel the power of you loving what you're doing right now. That's why I love the gym of life. It goes wherever we go. Whether we're at school, whether we're at work, at home, we have that power. We have that power to control our minds, to do our best on whatever it is we're doing. Whether it's a plank, whether it's sitting down, your legs crossed, your back straight, meditating, whether it's reading a book, whether it's being your best, kind to your friends, your family, do it with everything you got, with every part of your being. You were born to do that. No matter what's going on around you, you control what goes on inside your mind, and therefore what goes on in your body. Always remember your breathing. Control your breathing. I love the joy of feeling that moment when it comes, when my body wants to quit, when the discomfort is getting to be too much. And then I stand in that space, and I get to determine. I get to choose. I get to make the winning choice. That's determination. To keep going as much as I can, a little bit more than last time. I feel my muscles achy, trembling. But I get to choose. No, I get to determine. I get to make the winning choice of not giving up, no matter what. And if I do choose and lose, I give up, I get to come back again and again, every single time. It's the same power you have. We all have. No matter what. Alrighty. Proud of my effort there. Next song, we're gonna hold the side plank position for one side and then side planks for the other side. So we're gonna hold it. How about you? You proud of your effort so far? Keep going, everybody. Keep going. Keep moving. Moving is winning. Doing our best is winning. Wherever we are, whatever we're doing. That's the gym of life. Here we go. You can feel free to do what I'm doing, or again, if you want to decide to do something else, something that you want to improve on from last time, an exercise, whatever it is, keep doing it, keep going, do your best, try to do a little bit better than last time. That's your determination. You get to use it wherever you go, wherever you are. You get to determine, you get to win. Make the winning, accurate, kind, peaceful, loving, positive choice to keep going, to keep finding out how unlimited you really are. So I'm just trying to hold my my body in a plank position with my one elbow down, other arm on the side of my body, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm lifted off the ground. Do the other side too. That'll be my exercise for today. How about you? Keep going, whatever you're doing. You're dancing, you're doing jumping jacks, doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, whatever it is, keep going. Other side now. Try to hold it for the duration of the song. If not, I'm gonna keep going. Even if I fall down or stop, get right back up and keep going. Always do my best, always seeking and striving for my best, for our best. The more I do my best, the more I believe others around want to do their best. And that goes for you. That's how powerful we are. You doing your best right now, wherever you are, whatever exercise you're doing, that's the same process that other people can be inspired by. Really simple. Just live. Be your best. Be your true being. Don't let negativity, don't let fear, don't let the pain, the discomfort stop you forever. Keep going. Find out your pure joy, your happiness. All through your body and your mind, together as one. Song's not over. Gotta get back up, gotta keep going. Let's do the other side. You too, keep going until the music stops. Don't stop, keep going. Alright, excellent job. And let's bring it back. Let's connect our breathing. To our body, to our mind, to our energy. power energy of determination. That's right. We determine. We don't choose and lose, give up, believe lies, give in to fear. We don't do that. We don't give in to anxiety, stress, things that are not the truth of who we are. The way you did your best today, whatever exercises, stretches you chose to do, it's the same process you get to use here, now, wherever you go. In the gym of life, you get to grow your mind. You get to grow your mind health and your mind wealth. It's all possible if you determine, make the winning choice to be kind, to be peaceful, caring, loving, appreciative, grateful for everything you have here and now. I'm so grateful for my breath right now. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for our being, what we all truly are. I'm proud of my effort today, and I hope you are proud of yours. Because that effort, that process, that determination you use, it's available to you all the time. It's your greatest gift. So don't ever give up on using your determination to be your true, kind, positive, loving self. To control your own mind, no matter what is going on outside of it. You are infinitely intelligent, powerful beyond measure, and you get to work now more than ever. Your own mind, your own body, your own energy. Making yourself better now so that you can be better forever. I love you, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great day. Enjoy your life every moment, no matter what. We are united always. Love you guys.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 on Motivation Nation.
Believe Nation.
Oh, Believe Nation. Okay. All right, here we go.
Need motivation?
Watch the top 10 on Believe Nation. I tried working for somebody when I was very young and they fired me.
Right, and ice cream.
Right, and it was a very, very profoundly, affected me profoundly, and I just said, I'm never working for anybody again. It doesn't mean your life is easier. In fact, you have to have a lot of sacrifices on the road to success and a lot of failures along the way. I just find it a more interesting way to spend your time, and I really believe in this concept of money buys freedom.
Right.
And so, you know, I think it's a very noble pursuit for some percentage of the people out there, but not for everybody. Because you have to sacrifice a lot for the period that you're working on your business. And not everybody wants to do that. And I think you find that in your own. You start down that path, and if it's too much of a sacrifice, you revert back to being an employee. It's very noble to do that too, but it's not the same thing. It takes a long time to set yourself free working for somebody else.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong.
I was with a bunch of other investors who I respect, and they brought me a deal, and I wanted to be part of it, but it didn't feel right. and I wrote millions of dollars on that one. And it just didn't feel right, and I lost it all within 2 years.
So should investors trust their gut then? Or?
Absolutely, and trust your gut.
But what about, you said earlier, don't be emotional, and sometimes the gut is emotional.
This is a barometer of risk. It's something internalized for an investor that says, I don't feel comfortable. It's not about emotion, it's just don't write that check. That was recently the first time I didn't listen to that, and I lost everything. So now my radar is up. I listen to my gut. It's not an emotion, it's an index of risk. And you get it as you age. You become a better investor every year. If only I could live to 200, I'd be really good. Diversification. What I've learned that works if you're an investor, no matter how much money you've got, whether it's $5,000 or 500 million, diversification is what saves you from disaster. Having investments in a wide range of businesses and sectors, there's always something working when something else isn't. So today I can go to bed tonight knowing that I have one objective. I want to go to bed richer than I woke up, and the only way that's going to happen to me is to be invested in a lot of different things. Because every day one thing works while 3 others don't. But sometimes that's why you get richer.
So how does that play out for the average working woman like myself? Does it start with doing an investor profile questionnaire and starting to invest a little bit of your money in a diversified portfolio?
Yes. What I find people do is they fall in love with one idea or one stock or one investment, or their sister comes to them and says, I want to open a restaurant.
Yes.
You should never do that. What you should say is, whatever money I've got, I'll never put more than 5% into one idea. I'll never let myself get caught up in an idea that ends up being so big to me that if it fails, I get wiped out. This is the key to success. No more than 5% in any one idea, and no more than 20% in any one sector. For example, if you love energy stocks, only 20% max. If you love gold, only 20% max. You have to have diversification. This is the one thing that will save your hiney. You should make the assumption when you make an investment, there's some probability you'll lose it. It'll go to zero. And that's why you need to have, you know, a reserve, like a backup plan, some cash set aside that if everything blows up, you're okay. I find it extraordinary when people make their first, you know, liquidity event and they have some capital, that they blow it all again. That is the biggest mistake. You've got to take a nut, even if it stays in cash or it's a very, very liquid, safe securities, and say, that I don't touch. It goes back to what my mother taught me. Spend the interest, never the principal. I mean, look, you know, I make a lot of crazy investments. I don't touch the principal.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Communication skills, it turns out, are paramount. The ability to actually articulate what your idea is in a very short period of time is number 1. Number 2, and this is far, in some ways, more complicated to explain, but just because you have a good idea doesn't mean you're going to make money. There's a difference between a good idea and someone who can execute the business plan. So you spend the next 5 minutes of a presentation explaining why you're the right person to actually execute the plan. And this is far more complicated because you get peppered with a whole series of questions in any presentation that you're trying to raise money for, whether it's on Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, or out somewhere else. How much of your own money have you put into this business?
I put $50,000 of my own money, and I haven't taken a salary out of this company in a year and a half.
Crimea River. You have to go through that gauntlet to prove that you're the right person or your team are the right people. And if those 2 things come together, then the magic starts. That's when a team or a person starts to sizzle like an isotope, because clearly they become a leader. It's clear that they're different than everybody else. Not only can they articulate their idea, they can actually convince you they can execute it.
The reason most people fail in business is they make the assumption they're good at everything. And they're egotistical maniacs. And even when it starts to fail because of their own inadequacies, they don't stop themselves and they go on. That's a typical situation for an entrepreneur. So you have to look yourself in the mirror. And this is hard to do sometimes, and say, what am I really good at? And what do I suck at? because you don't want to spend any of your time doing things you're no good at. And I'll give you an example. I hate logistics and operations. When you run a software company, you have to make 10 million disks a month, and you don't like that, you better find a guy who knows how to do that. And you better make him your partner very early on in the process. And I mean partner. I mean, you give him something. You give equity up to fulfill the weaknesses in your own portfolio. That is the key to success. I have never made any money doing it all myself, ever. I've sold many businesses now. Started many, failed at many. The only ones I really made money on were partnerships, where I found people that were good at things that I wasn't good at. I don't mean employees. I mean giving them equity in the business so that they have the same risks and desires that I have. There's only two things in business that matter. One is owning it, and the other is being an employee. Guess which one you want to be.
Introducing Speech-Alone, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey.
And I remembered a story, and it really affected me years ago. My mother, I was born in Montreal, worked at a company called Kitty's Togs, and she used to come home and tell my brother and I, because they'd pay them every week on Thursday morning, she'd always invest a third of her paycheck into Bell bonds with coupons. She'd always say to me, boys, never spend the principal, just the interest, and never, ever, ever, ever buy a security that doesn't pay a dividend.
Right.
And, you know, back in those days, stocks paid higher dividends than the bonds. So example, you know, Bell Canada had a 6% yield on its 5-year paper, its bonds. The stock yielded 7 to entice people to take the risk to own an equity. And we got lost somewhere between the 50s and the 60s and 70s. And we actually thought that it was a good investment to buy a stock that didn't pay a dividend, which to me is insane. So anyways, I wanted to found a firm on that, my mother's basic concept, because, you know, she died a few years ago, and I was executive for her estate, and I looked at her portfolio, which she never shared with anybody, but 40 years compounded dividends and bonds. You know, 73% of the market's returns over the last 40 years came from dividends, not capital appreciation. And she knew that intuitively. So that's how we built the foundation of O'Leary Funds. We listen to Mom. We don't own a single security that doesn't pay a dividend. I will never buy a stock in my life that doesn't pay a dividend. If it's not returning cash to me, it's a speculation. And if a manager can't send me cash, I'm not interested. Often your family will come to you, your cousin, your uncle, your sister, saying, please invest in my business. You've got to differentiate between family, friends, and money. You've got to be careful that you don't get yourself in a situation where you lose your money because you got emotionally involved. That's a very big piece of advice, because I've done it the wrong. Everybody's made mistakes as an investor. That's one of the ones I made in the early times. I never make again. But I tell every Canadian entrepreneur I talk to, and business leader, and owner of business, any business, try and get over the next 5 years 30% of your sales outside of North America. And Canada's unique. We actually have, within the government, a support system. You can call the consulate in any country you want to do business in. They'll return your call. They'll set up meetings for you. I did this 2 decades ago when I wanted to move to the States. I called the Canadian consulate in Boston. You can do that now in Brazil, India, China, Asia, Cambodia, Thailand. And there's somebody that'll say, I care about that Canadian company. I'm going to make calls for them. You still got to do the work. But the whole idea is you diversify your sales risk. You diversify your portfolio. If you're just selling in the U.S., you're going to be selling to an economy that's growing at sub 3% for the rest of your life. So Oprah has a hairdresser. Interesting guy. His hobby was tea. This tea you drink. And he became what's called a nose. He had a certain skill to be able to smell Ceylon teas, blend them. One day he gives, a couple of years ago, a cup of tea to Oprah while he's doing her hair, and she sips it and says, "It's the best tea I've ever had." She goes on the show a half an hour later and says, "This tea, called Talbot Teas, is the best tea I've ever had." He gets orders the next day for $500,000. You know the Oprah effect, you've heard of it, right? He can't finance that. So he comes on Shark Tank and he's looking for $250,000. And I agree to buy 35% of the company for that. I love tea, it's so simple. Gets on Oprah, 500,000 orders, Neiman Marcus, all kinds of individuals ordering on the internet. Simple. Tea, orders, cash flow, right? While we're in the middle of doing the deal, the show airs, and Jamba Juice, a public company, says, we want to be in the tea business. We love this story. We love the brand. I want to buy the company. I haven't even written the check yet. And bang, the deal's done.
Wow.
Yes, wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of deal I like because it was simple. It's not a complicated tech story. It's tea. Tea with a brand. Now you go into a Jamba Juice anywhere in North America, that's my Talbot Teas. That's
Wow.
right. Isn't that wonderful?
It is wonderful. That's why you are.
Well, that's why I am Mr. Wonderful. But you know, I look at it this way. The simple deals are the ones you make money on.
Okay.
So I take that cash back, I redeploy it. So I like simple stories with revenue attached to them. You know, the high-tech stuff, I came out of that market. It's so complicated, so much can go wrong. So I just love deals where they see an easy path to revenue.
With MailChimp, you can design beautiful marketing assets in no time at all, thanks to MailChimp's AI-powered.
I was working once at an ice cream parlor when I was about 15 years old, my first real job. And on the second day, I was asked to scrape the gum off between the Mexican tiles on the floor. And I said to the woman who owned the store, it was called Magoo's Ice Cream Parlor, you didn't hire me to scrape gum, you hired me to scoop ice cream. And there's this girl in the shoe store across the way that's looking at me. I don't want her seeing me scraping the gum. And she said, what are you talking about? I own this store. I'll do anything I want with you. Get down on your knees and scrape that gum. And I said, I'm not doing it. She said, you're fired. Last job I ever had. I owe that woman everything. I don't like to work for people. Many of you in here, I hope, inherit that. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to control your own destiny, you work for yourself. That's how it works. I'm trying to inspire those of you who are on the tipping point. Take the chance, you're young. Go for it. There's nothing better than being able to wake up in the morning 10 years or 20 years from now and do whatever you like. It's about freedom. That's what matters. I'm not saying being an employee is bad, but believe me, being an entrepreneur is better. I'm a little biased.
Unfortunately, one of the great benefits of technology is productivity. One of the big downsides, it's incredibly distracting. People check their Twitter account, or they'll answer a Facebook message, or they'll do something that has nothing to do with making money. And the reason you go to work in the morning is to make money. That's what you're there for. All the other wonderful things you can do with your time are based on your ability to create an income for yourself and your family. So why spend any time doing all that crap, which is distracting? And so that's the number one thing I find in my companies is when you see someone failing and you look at how they manage their time, you'll see right there what's going on. They're not focused on what matters.
Last time we heard, we talked about your meeting with Steve Jobs, and I've read a lot about Steve Jobs since he passed away, and people talk about how he was so unbelievably difficult and tough in a way.
Yes, he was.
Would you characterize him that way, yeah?
He was a prick.
Yeah? But do you have to be that way to accomplish what he's done?
You know, I respect him for the tremendous success and the vision he had. I was proud to work for him, because that's what I was doing, supplying him educational software. I always thought in person he could have been a nicer guy, but would that have changed the outcome? Maybe. He was a genius. And I remember him saying, I asked him about, well, maybe we should do some market research on this before we spend $2 million on a particular product we're doing for Rita Rabbit. And he said, we don't do market research. We tell them what they want. And I thought, wow, not only is that arrogant, but it's brilliant. Yeah. And it worked. Right. And so I said, okay, big guy, let's do it. And it was very successful.
That whatever you do, somebody can do it better. You have to bring your A game in every single day. There's nothing unique about any one individual. What's unique is their passion, their ability to execute, to meet targets and exceed them. The minute you lose that ability, in capitalism, you're gone. It's a fair trade. The engine that makes you rich can take it all away from you. There are no guarantees. I think that's incredibly important.
What's a deal that you missed that one of your fellow sharks was able to secure that you look back on and say, wow, I didn't know that one was going to work out that well, but it's proven to be a big success.
And there is one, and I remember the moment. It was a deal called Sponge Daddy. It was a yellow sponge with a smile in its face. And I thought, what a piece of crap this is. The guy wanted $500,000 for like 50% of it. And Lori was beside me, you know, the queen of crap, as I like to say. She'd get the joke if she was here. And she started bidding on it, and I looked over at her and I said, are you out of your mind? This thing is a sponge. It's a sponge. She said, leave me alone. I said, no, Lori, I forbid you to do this. I can't watch you kill money like this. This is a shame. You're going to teach America how to waste cash. She said, shut up, I'm doing the deal. And she did. Sponge Daddy did $50 million in sales last year. It's a little piece of crap. I mean, that taught me, and I have a lot of respect for her now. That shows you the power of the Shark Tank platform. Simple product, simple message. There's actually a great corporate lesson to be learned in watching Shark Tank, and I urge anybody that's listening to this now to think about this for their own career. If you go back and look at 6 years of data, of all the deals that got funded, regardless to what the product was, and this does not detail the outcome of the company, just the ones that got a check from a shark. What are the common traits or threads? It turns out there's three. In 100% of the cases, the entrepreneur is able to articulate the idea in 90 seconds or less. Here's a sponge. Under cold water, it's hard, scrapes eggs off plates. Under warm water, you can polish silver. I get it, right? Very simple. Number two, it's usually a team are able to articulate why they're the right team to execute the business plan. They have a plan. They tell you what it is, and they tell you why they're the accredited, you know, managers for it. That's interesting. You find it in every case where there's success. And here's the one that really matters. In 100% of the cases, the entrepreneurs knew their numbers inside out. You ask them about break-even analysis, margin analysis, market share growth, competition. In every answer, they had it. They nailed it. It turns out in corporate America today, and I teach this now, you know, I taught at Notre Dame and MIT, the graduating cohorts, I explain this to them. When you're leading, when you want to be a leader, you have to articulate your idea in 90 seconds or less. You have to explain why you're the right person to lead, and above all, you have to know your numbers. You can see it happen on Shark Tank. It works in the real world too. And frankly, Shark Tank is the real world because it's real capital. So I use that and I teach it, and I think everybody should think about that. Explaining your vision clearly, succinctly, in a short period of time ends up being really important.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong.
If you think you can have a balanced life as an entrepreneur, that's just all bullshit. There's some other guy who wants your customer that's working 25 hours a day.
Right.
That's what I found. And so I don't even talk about that anymore, saying, look, it's a great, you have to decide. It's a path. You either are going to control your own destiny or you're going to be an employee. They're both noble. One gives you time to be with your family, one gives you a more balanced life, and the other one is balls to the wall. And the reason you do it is to eventually have personal freedom because you've been successful. And I think most of the people in this room fall into that second category, balls to the walls, and they're going to make it or they're not. And that's why I come here, because it's a kindred spirit. I like to see entrepreneurs that are willing to risk it all, but have to realize there is no balance.
The reason you do and pursue an entrepreneurial career is to provide financial freedom one day for yourself and your family. The sacrifice is there's no balance during the period you're growing the business. If you're successful, the reward is financial freedom, which is the essence. You know, I tell young entrepreneurs, don't do it for the greed of money. Do it for financial freedom. Do it for freedom. Make yourself free one day so you can do whatever you wish with your time. And the only way you can do that in our society is you have to be wealthy to do that. And so the rewards of a great entrepreneur are they achieve that wealth and they're free to do whatever they wish, which may be more entrepreneurship. You don't know.
If you're passionate and you're successful, you'll wake up one day rich. You won't really be going for the cash, it'll just happen to you. Everybody I talk to that's had success doesn't remember the day they became a millionaire. No idea. Not important to them. They remember winning. They remember building a business and being successful. Again, the pursuit of freedom manifests itself in passion. That's really what it's about.
And to my exposure, most of the business people I've met, the successful ones, the CEOs or whatever, they are at their core optimistic. Can you be a pessimist and be a successful entrepreneur? You have to be optimistic.
I think you have to view the world in a way that assumes success. Otherwise, you'll never have the energy. Maybe not a pessimist, but a skeptic is a good thing to be. Because what I've learned about business over all these years and all these deals, it's never as good as it sounds, but it's never as bad as it looks either. You know, every day, I've got 32 portfolio companies now. Something wildly bad is happening to one of them, and the cell phone rings at 6 in the morning, and something fantastically great is happening to another one. And it seems to me the random serendipitous nature of it all is really intriguing to me, because if I could only show the pessimistic or very, depressed entrepreneur that is calling me saying, oh my goodness, we just lost Walmart or whatever it is, it's the nightmare of their day, versus we just got Walmart on the other business. Well, I'm trying to get everybody in the same universe to realize it's never as bad as it sounds, but never as good either. You have to get up in the morning and go back to work. Great entrepreneurs are able to delegate. The successful women CEOs are remarkably good at this, remarkably good at it. And the way it works is, Sarah, I'll give you an example, the way Sarah works. She hires somebody, she sets a goal for 90 days, and gets out of their way, gets completely out of their way, lets them achieve it. If they achieve it, she moves them up the organization. If they don't, they get 3 tries until they're out. If you can't achieve your goals in business, that's what happens. But her whole thing is, let them do the work themselves, let them figure it out. I don't want to use my time for it, that's what I hired them for. What do you want to play?
See, if I think Kevin O'Leary, you know what I want you to play for me? I want you to sing This Land Is Your Land. Ooh. The classic pro-labor, political, subversive song. We're going to bring the lyrics.
I got to tell you, because I got to have the lyrics, because I'd never sing this thing.
That's what
this is absolutely against everything I am. Remember this tune? It starts with a G. You ready? Here we're going to go. This land is your land. This land is mine. I screwed it up. Let's start again. That's how much I hate this tune.
That's all it is.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
From California, St. Tofino, to New York Island, Cape Smear.
Ooh, I hate this tune. All right.
Okay, why do you hate this? Okay, go.
Let's try it again. I want you to sing with me.
Dude,
you're not getting away with this. All right, here we go. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go.
Hey, everybody.
This land was made for you and me. Every entrepreneur I meet